Guys, it's been a while. It's probably been about 3 weeks, but and guarantee you guys that we're getting back on this YouTube grind very soon. But I thought coming back into it, I'm going to update you guys on what's been going on, and as you can see from the title of the video, I'm actually going to go through basically like 5 of the top questions that I get when it comes to Amazon FBA. You can use some of these as a general rule for e-commerce, but most of these are for Amazon FBA. So I've got my coffee and we're gonna get started. But before I do, now you can skip the first part of this video, but I'm gonna tell you guys what's been going on with me. Said, I haven't been as much on the YouTube grind and posting very much on Instagram. So usually like on social media, I'm quite active, but I still have been active in say like my Facebook groups for the business, for the educational business, for Ecom Excellence. Been active in that. I've still been answering emails, student questions, follower inquiries, things like that. So I've been active in the business, but I haven't been active on social media. So the reason for that is that I've actually been, I took a step back, and a few weeks ago, I had some friends come over that I hadn't really been able to hang out with in the past year and a half, really, because really in the last year and a half, I've been stuck in sort of, and I explained it on one of my live streams a couple of days ago for the Ecom Excellence student group. I was on a live stream with them, and I was talking about how I was like, my dad would call it the little incubator that I had, because I sit at my desk and I really get self-absorbed in my own bubble, and I start working, and you know, that's not a bad thing. I start working and I really focus down, and I just have like these long periods of time where I just focus on work, focus on the business, and don't really worry about anything outside of that. So really for the last year and a half, you know, I was still seeing family, I was still making sure that I hadn't made time for family and anyone that was super duper close to me, but really like didn't really go out, hang out with friends that much, and I really wanted to go out and do more stuff with my family that I hadn't done in the last year and a half, and now, you know, being in Brisbane, I'm able to do that. So really the last 3 weeks, you know, I was hanging out with friends, took a step back from social media, took a step back from YouTube, and I also, you know, was doing stuff with my family, like with my parents, going and seeing football games, you know, watching AFL games, because, you know, we're Brisbane Lions supporters here, living in Brisbane, and it's been good, and it really helped me sort of take a step back and realign. Now I can go back, and, you know, I've got my whiteboard up that I can write on, and, you know, I've got my phone that I do my lists on, and I try and do daily schedules as well. And I've just realigned all of my goals and what I want to do and how I'm going to get there, and it's slowly getting myself back on that track. And that's why I said, you know, the YouTube stuff, the YouTube grind will be coming back very soon. And it's the same with Instagram. I haven't been posting on Instagram very much, but I feel like I needed to take that step back because I've been so full on for the last year and a half. And you know, I've been loving it. It's not like I haven't been enjoying it. I've been loving it, but sometimes you take that step back and reevaluate, and that's what I've done. So I feel refreshed, and there is one other thing as well, which I will talk about. I spoke about on my live stream as to why I've been so busy. So as you guys know, I am 25 years old currently. So what I've been doing is I've actually been playing in an esports team for a game called Rocket League. Now, if you don't know what Rocket League is, it's a physics-based soccer game. It's going to sound really weird, I know, but it's a physics-based soccer game, but you use cars. You use cars to actually hit the ball around, and it's like they're rocket-powered, and you fly around in the air and everything, and it's all physics-based. Now, it sounds like a child's game. A lot of people that play it competitively are younger. They're anywhere from like 15 to 20 years old, but in saying that, they get paid a lot of money to do so, and it is a highly competitive game. So I've been playing it since it came out back in 2015, but I really didn't start getting into the competitive scene until about 6 to 12 months ago. So I've taken a step further into that and have started playing competitively now. In the last couple of weeks, or the last few weeks, I've actually had a team that's gotten into the top 8 here in Australia. So we're starting to get quite up there. I remember last year I spoke about getting in the top 10. Now we're in the top 8. More specifically, we've gotten about 5th. That's in all of Australia. So we've actually done quite well in that. Now, in saying that, I know this does take a bit of time because you have to practice, you have to put your practice in, you have to scrim other teams, like practice versing other teams, and get your practice in, go strategies and things like that. You have to get fully involved into it if you want to play competitively, because it gets to the point where you get picked up by an organization, you can actually get paid a salary for it. Now, I'm not in it for the money. I want to do it because I love the game and I enjoy playing it competitively. I want to put a lot of hours into it, but in saying that, like I said on my live stream as well, the business for me always comes first. Ecom Excellence, the educational business, the dropshipping course and the FBA course, and the support that goes alongside that with its students, that will always come first. The reason I want to do this now is because I'm 25 years old, and you know, I won't get to do that really when I'm like 30, 35. So even though in the Rocket League community I'm considered the old man, I'm still young. I'm still very young. So I want to get this done while I can, and I want to push it as far as I can, because I don't want to look back, you know, when I'm even 30, 35 and go, well, you know, my reflexes aren't what they were when I was 25. I don't have the same opportunity when I was 25, and you know, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to have that regret. So I'm balancing it out as well as I can. I've got that, I wouldn't even really call it work-life balance, because everything I do is part of my life. So I am fitting everything in as well as I can, scheduling it all in. But like I said, the business comes first. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling. That's why I've been so absent here on YouTube. But we're going to get straight to this video, and I'm going to go into the top 5 questions that I get asked, top 5 things you really need to know when it comes to selling on Amazon here in Australia. So first one, how much do you need to get started? This is a question that I get a lot of the time. This is usually from followers, from people looking to get into courses or looking to get started on Amazon. They're really not sure, how much do I need to invest in? What sort of figure am I looking at to get ready? Now, when I first started, it was always recommended, okay, no less than $1,500. You know, $1,500 to maybe $3,000 is a good starting point. For me, what I've learned recently, and especially with my students, you know, working alongside them for the last couple of years now, I found that you don't really need that much. Now, if you want to do a full, complete order, say you want to get 100 units in of your first product to test your first order, 100, 200 units, maybe 300 units in of your first order, then yes, that's when you're going to need your $1,500 to $2,000 to get started with all that. But you can start with like a few $100s. You can get, say if you really wanted to test a product out, you're not sure if it's going to work, you wanted to get say 10 units in, maybe 20 units in, you can start with that $300, $400 mark and start testing the waters. If you just want to get say 10 to 15 units in of your product and start testing here in the Amazon market, you can do that. You don't have to put in this $1,500, and really I would recommend you to not do the $1,500 at the start. Just get a feel for it. At least you can, you know, get your product in, make your shipment plan, get it shipped to Amazon, start selling, running your advertisement, and you get the feel for it, and then you can start building from there. And then let's just say, okay, you ordered in 50 units and it's like bang, you know, you sold those 50 units really quickly. Okay, cool, then we can put in 150 units to that, because we know that this product works, we know the process of doing it. So really I would say it depends on how much you want, you know, to put into it to get started. But you can start with, say, little as something that's around $400 to $500 for a very small order. Then you can push that up to about $1,500 to $2,000 if you really want to. I've got the mix around, but second question, this was meant to be the first, but the second question now is, what do you need to get started? So very simple. You only need a computer and an internet connection. That's it. If you have a laptop, if you have a desktop, internet connection, that's all you need. Unfortunately, you can't really do it from your mobile phone. Maybe if you spent a lot of time on it, you might be able to do it through your mobile phone, but it's going to be very difficult. So I would recommend you have a computer and an internet connection. And that's basically the only things you need to set up your Amazon seller account, to start talking to suppliers, to start doing product research. You only need a computer and a laptop. You don't need like business degrees. You don't need to be a professional in anything. You don't need to have owned your own business before. Only other thing maybe is when you first start, maybe see if you can apply for an ABN here in Australia, but really that's about it. Like legal stuff put aside, that's stuff that you learn along the way anyway. Really, computer and internet connection is all you need. Another big one that I get, and it is, Jack, how long does it take to be successful at this? How much time am I going to need to put into this to be successful? That, to me, that question there is asking, if you've ever heard this saying, and I'm guessing you guys have, is how long is a piece of string? And what that means, if you haven't heard of that, if you're a younger audience, you haven't heard what that saying is, that just means that there's really no certain answer. There's no specific answer for how long it will take. It really depends on how much time you put into FBA and how much effort you put into FBA, and whether you're willing to push through. Now, I've had people who have launched their product and they started making sales after a few months. And it's a slow sort of, get the ball rolling, slow sort of momentum building sort of thing there. I've also had students who have launched their product during COVID. They've launched their own products and in the first week have made $3.5 grand in sales and ended up doing like $1,500 in profit in like 2, maybe 3 weeks, which is, no, it was in a week actually, they did $1,500 in profit. So it really depends on the product you choose, it depends on how much demand there is, it depends on how much work you put in. These students that have made these big numbers, it's not like they've just hit a lucky product off the bat, it's that they've put in the work, and there's always obstacles for them. There's always a lot of obstacles. Every single one of these students, and even myself as an Amazon seller, we go through obstacles, and there's things that you might go through that I mightn't have gone through. There's things that someone else might go through that we have both not gone through. So it really depends on how much work you put into it, and if I can give you, an actual time frame as to where you can start turning a decent profit, usually a lot of the time, you could say around, maybe 4 months to 6 months, but really it's hard to say. You can't even say that it takes 4 to 6 months because it depends on how much work you put into it. You can make this stuff work in a few months if you really want to, and you can make it start happening really, really quickly. It just depends on how much time you put into it. If you want to invest more money, don't settle when it comes to this stuff. If you want to make this an actual business, don't settle. If you have one bad supplier, don't get discouraged and then stop contacting other suppliers. Or if you have a product that's up but it's not really making as many sales, get it sorted. Find out why it's not selling. Is it your niche? Is it your actual product? Is it your price? Is it your photos? You got to put a lot of work into it. That's all I can say. And it's like asking how long is a piece of string. Really depends on how much time and effort you put into it. Popular one that I get, which might be a surprise to some of you, but another one is, I'm an international student, can I be an Amazon seller? And the quick answer for that, the short answer is yes, you can. I get a lot of people from, who were born over in India, even some over in Afghanistan, parts of Asia as well. I get a lot of people that come through and ask if they can sell because they live in Australia, usually on a student visa, and they're usually working over here or studying over here. And yeah, they've asked if they can sell on Amazon being an international student. This coffee is so good. Yes, now the quick answer is yes for that. Now the reason why I get asked a lot of the time is because you need some certain credentials or you just need some certain information to give to Amazon when you sign up for a seller account. So I remember there's one student in particular I'm thinking of that he was from Afghanistan, so that was where he was born. And in the actual Amazon information on their page, it said anyone from any country can start selling on Amazon apart from these, and it listed a few countries. It was like a list of 10 to 15 countries, maybe 20 countries, and Afghanistan was one of them that you couldn't sell in. So we were stuck on that for quite a while, but then what ended up happening is I just said, okay, look, we've done what we can, contact Amazon seller support and see what they can do for you. Eventually, I'm not 100% sure whether he got the help of one of his friends to help him to sign up with it, but he got in contact with Amazon and they gave him some info on what he could do. Moral of the story is he ended up being able to sell on Amazon. He got his seller account sorted and he was approved for it. So really, even if there's a country that you've come from where it says you can't sell or you think you can't sell, usually there's ways around it. And the quick answer is yes, if you're an international student you can. It may take a little bit longer than just typing in information and getting signed up, but usually you can get in contact with Amazon and they can you can ask them what you need, and then you can go from there. And most of the time you actually can sell on Amazon as an international student. The last one, and another big one that I get, is, Jack, do you think it's still worth selling on Amazon here in the Aussie market? I can guarantee you, I said this all the way back in late 2017, early 2018, we are still in the very, very early stages of Amazon here in Australia. It's like, it's getting bigger, but we are nowhere near reached its peak. We're in 2020 now. It's been, at the end of this year, it's going to be 3 years, in November this year, because I remember it was November in 2017 that it launched. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember it being November. It'll be 3 years since launch, but we are nowhere near even reached its peak. A lot of people in Australia still don't even know what Amazon is. Now, there's a lot of people who have started to get on the bandwagon. Myself, I shop on Amazon a lot of the time now, only because it's in Australia now. I have bought things from Amazon US, but It's just so much handier having it here in Australia. The whole thing is, why people ask this question is they think that there's either too many sellers on there, there's just not enough opportunity, there's just too much that's going on there now, and it's going to be too hard to get your name out. I can guarantee you guys, majority of people, especially in Australia, it's going to be at that point now where it's like 97 to 99% of people on Amazon here in Australia that are using it are going to be buyers. And you have the whole rest of it. If you're looking at it from a pie chart perspective, it's like, okay, whole pie chart here, this little smidget here are the sellers. The rest of the pie chart are buyers. We still have this whole thing, and even in Amazon in the US, you can still fit yourself in. So if you can fit yourself in with a population of over 300 million, and there's a whole bunch of sellers, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of sellers on Amazon in the US, and people are still making money on there, new sellers, you can do it in Australia. And not only that, it's actually, I would say it's probably a little bit easier to get started on Amazon here in Australia because there's not as much competition. There's not bigger brands. Well, there are bigger brands, but there's not as many bigger brands who are putting in money into getting reviews, putting in money into their photos, and really pushing for a whole bunch of stock. You have your bigger brands like, if we're speaking coffee, you've got Nespresso and Breville, and then you've got Nike and all the basic brands, Apple, all those kinds of things that you're expected to see on there. Cleaning products, all those big brands on there. You've got your general brands, even like Huggies and things like that for nappies and things like that. But there's so many more niches. There's so many things you can get into in selling on there, and there's so many niches that are in demand at the moment, and there's so much opportunity. I can't tell you guys, we're still in this golden era. I've been talking about this golden era for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and we're still so lucky. So really, if you guys are wanting to get started selling on Amazon, I literally have a free video here on YouTube that goes for a little bit over an hour that teaches you all the basics. It shows you all the basics of what's involved with starting to sell on Amazon. So go and check out that video if you want to. But the quick answer to this question, I know I've been rambling on, but the answer to this question is yes, it's still a great time to get started selling Amazon here in Australia, and I just want you guys to get started. I know that you're on the channel for either some direction, or you either want some motivation, or you want to make sure that it's still okay. And yes, I've sold on Amazon myself. I've been doing it for quite a while now. But now, even more, I can tell you guys, since launching Ecom Excellence back in 2018, did it mid-2018, since teaching people, we have a little over, it's like around 400 to 450 students in there now. Teaching all those people, going through what they've gone through, their experiences with them, it's even made me a more rounded, knowledgeable person on this Amazon FBA. And I can tell you guys, from students getting in their products, it's like almost to the point now where every month, every few weeks, I've got a new student who's ready to launch their product, who's ready to get their samples, who's basically started getting their sales rolling in, and I've learned so much from it. That's all I can say, and I can guarantee you guys from all their experiences, it's still so worth it. And it's going to be quite a while until it's going to get to that point where it seems saturated. If it's not even saturated in the US yet, just imagine how much time we have here in Australia. So if you want to get started, just get started. I'm not gonna plug anything. I'm not gonna plug my course. I'm not gonna plug anything to do with that. You can check that out if you want. I'm not gonna talk about it. So I just want this video to help you guys, especially coming back into it after a few weeks. I hope it's helped you. But I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope this video gave you some insight. If you have any questions for me personally, comment on the video. I have my Facebook link down below, my personal Facebook and my Instagram. Send me a DM there. I've been getting quite a lot of DMs recently, and I love to see it. I love to help as many people as I can. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. But apart from that, I hope you guys enjoy your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll start this YouTube grind very soon. But have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys very soon.